Hello again everyone, this is Vincent and this is episode 11 of the Constructor Engineer of the People walkthrough. This episode will be on the 2-bit logical function unit. And so what we have to do here is we have 4 inputs, A0, A1, B0, B1. A0 functions with B0 and A1 functions with B1. And the function between A0 and B0 depends on the combination of F0 and F1 given here. So when F1 and F0 are both off, the function between A0 and B0 is and. So C0 is on when A0 and B0 is on, when F0 and F1 is off. And you can see the rest of the functions there and the required F1 F0 combination to allow that function of A0 and B0. And the same for A1, B1, feeding to C1. So that logic table looks very familiar, so I'll just make the very familiar addressing system. F0 is going to be the first line. Move it up here. So now we have your decoded line where, depending on the combination of F0 and F1, we have a unique line on out of these 4. So and that will form part of the AND gate over here, somewhere in the middle. So I'll just have to build the 4 functions for this, and the output and the inputs of each function is only allowed through when its specific address for its function is also on. So firstly, A0 and B0, A0 or B0, and using a new design of the XOR gate which I just recently found. It's better than the one which I showed in the 2-bit add with carry, because as it has less lag, should get a better score. It looks sort of like the middle part of the addressing system, whereas the old XOR gate looks more like the 2 end parts of the addressing system inverted. This one takes out the middleman of the inverter and takes this bit, which is basically not these bits, and not A. So I have to attach this to a permanent power supply, and this to a permanent power supply. And this to a permanent power supply. Oops, I forgot that bit. Attach all these bits to A, and attach this bit to B. Maybe not. Might attach this bit to B. Sticking out there. Right, so this one's a permanent power supply. This bit's B, and this bit's A. and I have to do the same for A1 and B1. So I'll just copy paste that. Hopefully I can fit it. That should be the same permanent power supply. And this bit attaches to B. Some spacing problems. And this bit attaches to A. So now we've got 4 lines from each of the 0 and 1 inputs. So now I'm going to make the AND gate, or I mean the OR gate for all of them. Oops. Attach that to the permanent power supply. So what I have here is, I'm just going to attach them. So what I have here is, all these functions will run simultaneously, A and B, A or B, A XOR B, and not A. All run simultaneously. Now, whoops, that's wrong. And not A, all run simultaneously, and they will activate this base, but the input will only go through when its respective function address is also on. So you need both the function on, the function output on, and its function address on in order to allow the current through this OR gate into C0. So now I just have to repeat the same process for the other side. I have to get all these function addresses into their right spots. So I'm basically, repeating the process for the inputs of A1 and B1. Hopefully this works. So that is the 2-bit logical. What happened there? Okay, it's a problem with when both are on for C1. There's a problem. So that is the 2-bit logical function unit for episode 11. Hopefully it works. So I'll see you in the next episode then.